saying out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's episode. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday, okay? We coming in hot on a Monday. Did I shave my fucking head like Britney Spears during her breakdown? Yeah, I did. Okay, listen, we're all going through it, all right? To be honest, I shaved my head because let me tell you a story about when your boy went to a barber about a month ago. Okay, about a month ago, maybe a little longer. Doesn't matter to the story. And I go in, and this barbershop had red flags all over it. Why? Because of this. I sit down. You know, there's one guy way too eager to have me, waving me down like he's a fucking air traffic controller trying to bring me to his chair. And I'm like, okay, I'll give this white a try. And I sit down and I tell him what I want. You know, I just want, kind of a fade on the side. I like the top length. I comb it like this. Just fade me up, dog. You know what to do. And he's like, okay, I got you. And he's like, which side do you part your hair? And I go, obviously this side. It's parted that way. Doesn't matter. Okay. He starts cutting my hair. And then I tell him as a joke, because, I'm there to have a good time. Listen, you go to the barber shop, you're there to have a good time. All right. They got beer there. It's just a bunch of fellas, just toxic masculinity floating in the vicinity, bars. And I'm just there to have a good time. So I tell him, I go, yeah, man, I'll be honest. I gotta get back to going to a barber because, for the last year I've been cutting my hair. And he stops and he looks at my hair and he goes, dude, you've been doing a really good job. And I go, obviously he's just being nice because, I'm no barber. It's like going to a fucking tattoo artist. This is a red flag. If you gave yourself a stick figure tattoo and you were like, yeah, this is my newborn son, and then the tattoo artist was like, wow, that is a phenomenal. I see his eyes, the detail, but it's just a stick figure. That should be a red flag that you probably shouldn't get a tattoo from this guy, okay? Because if that impressed him, what the fuck is he gonna do? He's gonna do fucking hangman on your other arm. But he tells me how good of a job I did. Then I'm like, okay, you're just trying to get a good tip. But anyway, he proceeds to violate my hair. Okay, this man probably wasn't a barber by craft. He was a weed whacker by nature. All right. I don't know what school he went to. I don't know if he went to DeVry Institute of Cutting Hair, but it was not somewhere respectable. Okay, because the man proceeded to butcher my head. I could feel it too. You ever been in a barber seat and they start doing techniques? Listen, I've been on the planet for a while now. Ripe old age of 33. Listen, I've been around, all right? This man, whenever you sit down in a barber chair and they start doing different techniques that you've never experienced, you're like, oh, this is going to be a bad time, He just starts with this new shit, and I'm like, oh, this new shit ain't that new. You don't really want new shit when you're going to a barber, unless they're like, unless they're verified on Instagram. Then you can be like, you can fucking line me up with a goddamn blowtorch if you want. That's how I feel about it. He proceeds to defecate metaphorically on my head. And when he's finished destroying every fiber of hair on my head, he starts combing it the opposite way. He goes, you part your hair this way, right? And I go, no. Flashback 30 minutes to when I told you it's this way. Not only that, I don't part my hair to any style. Listen, I'm an equal opportunist, okay? My hair chose the part that I have, okay? It chose that it wanted to lay that way. And I said, hey, do you, okay? I'm not into word police and I'm not into life police. If that's the way you want to live your life, hair, you fucking part however you want, Moses. Bars, okay? So my hair's going to that side naturally. Not only that, this shyster, this jester, this thief, and I say thief because he took the job of an actual barber, is forcing my hair like it's Auschwitz on my head to go the other direction that it wanted to go. Okay? Okay? And someone's going to cancel me for that. Fine. Whatever. Cancel me. I'm done. Okay? Shaved my head. Obviously, I'm not trying to get any jobs or anything. Okay? Listen, my hair was my magic. I'm like Samson. All right? What if I told you I just like shaved my head because I really like Stranger Things? I was like, I just really identify with 11. Okay? The whole bloody nose thing. You guys remember those kids who would just randomly get bloody nose? Like you're just playing at the park with them. Not even like a contact sport. You're like, I don't even know, playing with fucking squirt guns. And then all of a sudden they just have a bloody nose. And there's always some fucking little white kid named Trevor or something, you know? Or Kyle drinking Mountain Dew and shit. Always getting a bloody nose when you guys are just playing. Always was a weird flex. And then be like, I just have to hold it. Just like, God damn it. And they're like always the kid who like has more suntan lotion. You know? Back to the Barber story. That one was a dead end. This motherfucker cuts my hair to the other side. Not only that, he cut my hair in a way to where it was completely uneven. One side of my head was like doing this fade thing. The other side was doing a cliff. So on this side, if you were hiking on my head, you could find your way down. Okay, you could, there were steps and there was ways to go. On this side, suicide. Okay, it was just pure suicide. You had to jump off the cliff to get to my shoulder. People were rappelling from the top of my head. Okay, there was a billy goat, you know, barely hanging on the side of my head on this side. On this side of my head, family friendly. Okay, there was a little Asian family by my ear taking pictures, stop the Asian hate. There was somebody with their dog off leash behind that, and it was family friendly. There's someone actually playing soccer on this side of my head. Okay, that's how stable this head was, is what I'm telling you. This side had an emo kid right at the part thinking about ending it all. All right? All right? But Joe Biden, if he had been on this side, he still would have tripped going up this side of my head. It is what it is. Okay? Listen, he still would have tripped going up it. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And that's why I shaved my head, ladies and gentlemen. That whole thing, that's why I shaved my head. All right? Because sometimes you just look at it and you just go, start over. You just got to start over from scratch. And that's what we did. We're just a good reset. I believe in that. Having a nice reset in life. Sometimes, you know, there's that quote where it was like, just because you've been making a mistake for a while doesn't mean you have to keep making it. That was such a stupid rendition of that quote. But it basically was like, just because you've been doing something for a long time doesn't mean, you know, oh, it's too late to stop now. Nah, baby. Why? Start over. Start fresh. People get, you know, I hear that with people with jobs, you know. Listen, that's one thing about me moving to Texas and California. And I don't give a shit what people want to do with their lives. Listen. Excuse me, Monday morning burp. First burp of the week. Starting off strong. Second one right there. Wow, one after the other. We're in rhythm. I don't give a shit what people want to do with their lives. If you want to work a job, listen, I'm all for. We need all walks of life. We don't need everybody to be fucking Gary Vaynerchuk. Okay, I can't. Gary V. It's not. He's not. I don't know. There's something so weird about a dude wearing. I'll listen to him about life advice when he learns how to wear a fucking beanie. Look at Gary Vaynerchuk. The dude, if you put him out in the middle of a winter storm, a blizzard, his fucking front of his head would freeze to death. The man does not know how to wear a beanie. And he reminds me of a substitute teacher who's just trying to bang the seniors. Okay? Like in high school, I would get creepy vibes for him if he was the substitute. Because he probably, like he likes to act like he like just graduated. You know? And, the advice that he gives everybody is just, it's so bland and so broad. And listen, I'm someone who I've listened to Gary Vee stuff and it will motivate me, but I take it as for what it is. Okay. It's all it is about grinding. He just uses all these words. It's all about grinding and it's about moving forward and it's about fucking TikTok. Okay. He's sitting there with like capitalists and like these hedge funds and like these people who are like, really into business and everything. And all he tells people, you got to get on TikTok. Okay. Free advertising on TikTok. And now you got these people on TikTok doing weird ads with their thing because they're like, this is what's hip. This is what's cool. And then you got fucking 60-year-olds wearing half beanies falling off their goddamn head. And Gary Vee's like telling them, grind. Okay. I want you to go in your closet, get half the stuff, put it on eBay. All right. Shout out to Gary Vee wherever you are, sitting fucking backwards in a chair right now, telling some senior high school girl what kind of car you drive, showing her your beanie collection. Why wouldn't you just wear, what do they call, a yarmulke? He wears them like they're yarmulkes. That's how he wears beanies. It's disrespectful to whoever invented the beanie, to be honest with you. That's just being real. I'm not even joking. But what were we even talking about, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, a good reset. And people who, this was one thing, all right? I don't give a shit what people do with their lives. The reason why I say that about Gary Vee is because there's a lot of people who just like, you try to force everybody to do what you do. And that's something that I have gotten better at not doing, is trying to tell everybody they should do what I do. And not even in the sense of what I do personally, but just of being like, you need to be independent. You need to be a business owner. You need to do this. You need to do that. Some people just aren't made for it. And that's good, because I don't want to work other jobs that other people want to work. Sometimes that lifestyle of just working during the week, have your benefits, get to enjoy your weekends, explore, travel. When you get home from work, you're fucking done. That's great. Okay. You don't want to be a fucking tortured artist like me. Yeah, I just referred to myself as a tortured artist. That was throw up, ladies and gentlemen. But what I mean is like, you just don't want to be someone who's always thinking about the next thing, who's always thinking, what should I be doing? Who's always thinking, this was dog shit. I need to do this better and do that. Always, except for Sunday Fun Day. That all goes, phew. It's like the Men in Black coming to me on Sunday mornings and they go, neuralize me. And then I wake up on Monday, right back in. That's how I live my life, ladies and gentlemen. I turn in the goddamn Joe Biden on Sundays, all right? A stable Joe Biden. But yeah, there's a lot of the walks of life. I'm doing the longest way of explaining this. All kinds of walks of life. I don't give a shit what people want to do, okay? But here's something that I experienced when I was first throwing down the idea of moving from California to Texas. There's a lot of people that think that just because they've been doing something for a while, they can't leave it. They can't start over. And a lot of these corporations with their retirements, they don't want to let you, okay? Why? They don't want turnover. They don't want to have to hire and train new people every few years. So what do? They incentivize you with a fucking 20-year retirement plan, 25 years. Oh, well, you've only been here for 9-10 years, you're going to miss out on this retirement. It's going to be all for nothing. And I experienced that when I was, first planning to move to Texas. And then when I was actually moving, there was a lot of people that I spoke to that, friends, and that they would just be like, oh, I wish I could, but, I got this job and, I'll lose my time in my retirement if I, move to another state. And I'm like, dude, you're going to retire in 25 years. You're going to be an old fucking man. Like, what? Well, just start over. Just do it. Take a risk. That's like why I'm so about, like, that's one thing. It's like, if you want to do stuff, do it now. Okay. People have this fantasy that when they're like 65, let's say it's 65, 70, then I'm going to enjoy life. Then I'm going to travel. Then I'm going to do all this fun shit. No, you're going to be in goddamn diapers. Okay. Do it now. All right. Just fucking take the chance. All right. You got to get out of that comfort zone. That's where it is, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of diapers, listen, Sometimes they would be nice. Okay, listen, I'm gonna tell you a story that happened yesterday. Sunday fun day. Me and my girl, we go to Buc-ee's. If you ain't been to Buc-ee's, ooh, if you're in Texas, go to Buc-ee's. Found out last night I went to the largest convenience store in the goddamn world. And it's also one of the top 5 largest gas stations in the whole world. New Braunfels, all right? This location of Buc-ee's. Dope-ass gas station, all right? It's got everything you could think in. Everything you can think in, it's got it. Go there, go to Canyon Lake, do some hiking, do some exploring. But listen, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Every 5 to 6 years, I have to take a shit in a public bathroom. There, I said it, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the truth. It's what happens. You know, you get caught in a blizzard sometimes, a shit blizzard, if you will. All right. And every 5 to 6 years, my body, this is a well-oiled machine. All right. We are on a schedule. We are prompt. And when we got our schedule, okay, our system's usually good. But guess what? Your boy's in Texas. Okay. We've only been here for not even a month yet. I'm still taking in all the different foods. I'm still doing all this new stuff. Okay, what's the problem with that? Got to pay the consequences. Got to pay that piper, all right? And sometimes that's with stomach aches and, you know, just it is what it is. Your schedule gets messed up. And it happens to me while I'm in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, oh my God, it's about to go down. So I'm like, shit, well, there's a porta potty. People are all in it. Definitely not going to a porta potty. We're planning on going to this Longhorn Cafe. Great burgers. Got that big juicy cheeseburger. I Yoda it. You ever just have to get yourself in the zone? And then you have to tell yourself, I'm okay shitting myself on this drive. Okay? Because you have to have peace or else you're going to tense up too much and you're going to rush the situation. Okay? It's like I'm going into labor and I have to tell myself, B1, shit, or, you know, whatever. Just be zen with it. That's how I'm going to be. And I get to this bathroom and it's finally, I'm just like, hey, like we did it. We made it here. I got to this public restroom in this restaurant. Every 5 or 6 years, this happens to me. Do people only try to shit on the seat in public restrooms? I don't know this. I'm out the game, okay? Every 5 or 6 years. That means I do this. I could count on both hands probably the amount of times I've done this in a public restroom. Probably lying. But it's not very much. I can't even think of the time before I did. Bless you. Is there some unspoken rule that the objective of a public toilet is just to shit on the seat, to just make it completely unusable for the rest of the general population? You know what it is? I don't even go near public toilets when I have to use the restroom because I'll go pee. I'll tinkle in a public place. I don't give a shit. Nothing's touching. So I don't know what the standards are or what the rules are, but I get in there. Like I avoid them and when I hear someone in a public bathroom, dude, no one goes normal in a public bathroom. Because I think nobody wakes up in the morning, has their coffee and oatmeal, and they goes, all right, I'm going to head on over to 7-Eleven. All right, honey, I'm going to go to Cracker Barrel. But you just ate. Nah, I got to go take a shit. No one does that. No one enjoys it. If they did a questionnaire, it would probably say, if you would rather take a shit at home or in a public restroom, which would you rather do? 100% at home. Not only that, 100% would probably pick, I want to avoid this at all costs. If I can, I'll wait. Meaning that 100% of people who shit in public bathrooms couldn't wait. Meaning that 100% of shits in public restrooms are emergencies. Meaning that 70% of them starting to panic. Those are just the numbers I made up right now, ladies and gentlemen. And those are facts, okay? Because listen, the results that you get in a public stall, it's as if fucking, I don't even know. I was trying to think the Tasmanian devil went in there. It's a bloodbath. World War II in there, okay? It just makes no sense, the kind of stuff that goes down there. It doesn't even go down. It's just all over. And that's what I notice when I'm in a urinal. Shout out to my lady listeners. Why are we pretending that women don't shit? It's so stupid. We know what you're doing there. All right? Oh, that food just disappears in the goddamn puppies and runs out into the forest? No. You guys are monsters, okay? Monsters, I tell you. But when I'm in a urinal and I hear someone in the stall, listen, 90% of the things I hear from a stall, Jesus wouldn't let you into heaven for, okay? The sounds coming from grown men who sound like they're a fucking lumberjack in the middle of the woods. Some sound like they're fucking wrestling with a bear in there. A wildebeest. Like a fucking bucking bronco in there. Just I literally want to talk to guys and be like, dude, got a small background in the medical world. You're going to give yourself hemorrhoids. You got to relax. Okay? It's just not good for you. You're going to blow an O-ring, all right? And that's just real. That's really the real deal, Holyfield. Oh, and here's the finale of the story. I got in that stall, and Jesus Christ Houdini himself came down. And as I'm looking at this stall and this fucking murder scene, Jesus goes, you know what? Bing! Touches my head and says, you know what? You don't have to go no more. And I willed it out of me. I said, you know what? I ain't fucking going here. Even though I thought I was on the brink of death, I was like, no, we're not doing it. We packed it up and took it home. And this is just, no, I can't do it. I can't do public restrooms. I'm sorry. And listen, your boy is fancy AF, okay? Because listen, I got a bidet. Oh, if you ain't living with a bidet, you don't know what you're missing, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It's barbaric to go back to the old ways, okay? The godless ways, if you will. Not only that, I got a squatty potty. If you ain't never used a squatty potty, are you even living? Okay? I'm a apex predator in life of comfort, all right? There's some processes I like to get to the top of the pile on, all right? I want the best of the best, and going to the restroom, that's one of them. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my shit podcast, all right? Where it goes down. Nice. What else is going on, you beautiful creatures? Had a great weekend, though. 8 burgers 2 nights in a row. Listen, your boy likes burgers. Your boy likes burgers and wings. Listen, that's one thing so far in Texas I haven't had yet is a solid set of wings. All right? I had one, like the first weekend I got here, I had some wings. Wasn't that impressed with them. All right? I just wasn't. Speaking about not impressed, really, Mortal Kombat came out, and listen, the first 7 minutes of, you know what, we're not going to spoil it too much. Fuck it, you guys had the weekend. First 7 minutes of Mortal Kombat came out. I loved it, okay? Loved it. They painted it in such a dramatic, almost like a, like a South Korean film. South Korea has some amazing martial arts movies and zombie movie. There's one zombie TV show. It's called Kingdom on Netflix. Phenomenal. I love their character development, the way South Korea films stuff. Phenomenal. it was building up to be something like that. And then after the first 7 minutes, it completely switched. It felt like that old Power Rangers movie where when the Power Rangers lost their, superpowers or their animals and they had to get new ones. It felt kind of like that. It felt rushed. They leaned a little too heavy on the video game side, which it was nice. I'm not complaining. It's just the first 7 minutes set it up to be a little more of a drama with a little more epic stoicism. That's how I felt about it. And then it just kind of switched over to like Power Rangers, but I still liked it. I don't know why they invented a Mortal Kombat character. They set it up for a sequel, but I'm like, why did you just make one up? I mean, maybe they're going somewhere with it, but if I'm being honest, man, I love TV shows now. I think there's so much that you can do with character development that I love it so much more than movies now, because you can just dig so much further into a character and tell more of a story. It feels too rushed now watching movies. It's just crazy. But speaking of crazy, if you didn't see UFC 267, holy shit. I think it was 267. Was it 267? No. 261. That was it. A banger card. Listen, I can't think of a better card that I've seen in the past, the recent past. I'm sure they're out there. UFC 100 was obviously very good. Conor McGregor versus Khabib, that whole card was dope. I was actually at that fight. That was phenomenal. The one where the fight broke out in the crowd, I was in the crowd. It felt like that part in Jurassic Park where they're like, oh, look, they flock just like birds. And little Timmy is like, they're flocking this way. That's how I felt watching the fights break out in the crowd. Because I was like, oh shit, look, ha ha ha. And then I was like, all these people are getting hit with stuff in the crowd. Look at this. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, I'm in the crowd and things are starting to fly towards me. Phew, fast as fuck, boy. But it was a good time. But this card, man, from start to finish, Anthony Smith versus Jimmy Crute, paralyzed his leg. Okay, hit that nerve, fucked his shit up. It's crazy because people are going towards these new calf kicks. Not new, but they're becoming very popular very fast. And they're just fucking everyone up. Then Uriah Hall in the next fight breaks Chris Weidman's leg while checking a kick. What's insane about this is Chris Weidman was involved in a kick breaking Anderson Silva's leg the same exact way. And now Chris Weidman has his leg broke. And it was nasty. Valentina Shevchenko, dominant performance. My favorite win of the night, Rose Namajunas, head kicking Weili Zhang. Phenomenal, okay? Just phenomenal. In the big picture of things, and to see her story evolve. And she's just such a good person, Rose, to see her win, especially in such a fashion. It was phenomenal. And then the main event was just simply nuts. A crazy knockout. Those knockouts are always crazy. Kamaru Usman versus Jorge Masvidal. When you see all the sweat fly off someone's head, like a picture perfect knockout. It was like a knockout from Fight Night round 3, where when you would hit them, the sweat would fly and a camera would flash and they were just dead. That's the kind of knockout it was. Kamaru Usman, man, he might be the best. He might be the GOAT. He might be the future GOAT. He's definitely up there. It's crazy to see his evolution going from, a wrestler base to just being able to throw them hands, and just like the dexterity of his mind. In the last fight with Gilbert Burns, when he was able to weather the storm, got rocked and came back and just dominated, just so headstrong. And then to be able to stand with Jorge Masvidal. I called it early on, where he kept throwing that right hand and Jorge Masvidal was not respecting it at all. Like, he just kept throwing it and Jorge would just barely get out of the way and wouldn't even try to slip it, but just move out of the way and just be trying to land a punch, or just wasn't given it the respect. And I literally said out loud, I said, oh, it's a matter of time before that right hand just lands. Because he was throwing it and it just wasn't finding the target. But Jorge wasn't reacting to it. He wasn't doing the right things to get away from it. And it was just going to be a timing thing. And when it finally lined up, it was right after Jorge got a little too cocky. His hands were down. He was moving back and everything. And it was just picture perfect. He timed it, found the home for it, and bam, that's all she wrote. And Jorge even said it, in the post-fight. He said, I didn't account for his power. In the first fight, he didn't have that. And shout out to Trevor Whitman. The man's a wizard, his striking coach. But Jorge says, I overlooked his power and he took me out. There's nothing more I love more than seeing a fighter humble in defeat. It's inspirational to see someone deal with such a loss and be able to handle it so well. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So shout out to Jorge Masvidal, Kamaru Usman, everybody on the card. Shout out to Dana White for putting it together. The crowd was chanting, fuck Paul, Jake Paul. Oh, big stretch. I just think, man, stop giving this kid attention if you don't like him. Okay, because it's like when you talk about him, you give him strength. It's like Candyman or something, or one of those movies where the more you believe in the ghost, the stronger it gets. Like it lives off fear. So the more scared you get, the stronger it gets. That's Jake Paul with attention. He's a fucking attention monster. All right. That's what YouTube is just views. Not everything matters. Okay. It's just views. So eyeballs are eyeballs, and you just keep feeding the beast. But ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this episode. We got real deep in the shit. Bars, pun intended. I love you. I miss you. If you haven't, like, comment, subscribe. It helps the podcast. Share it with a friend. Say, hey, you need a laugh? Remember when you shit yourself? Here, enjoy this podcast. And I will see you Wednesday. All right? And yeah, we'll talk more on Wednesday. But for now, never forget, I love you.